All right. So last time I was on here, I talked about how you can, as a church, hire someone to come in and host kind of like a summer camp type vibe, but an ongoing program for the whole school year, or probably at least just the first semester, where students can come in and you have activities, games, prayer, academic times, all that kind of stuff. So maybe that's just like way too much for you. I totally get it. And in this video, I want to share a different way that maybe you can help some parents. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Ryan Latham, and I share tips, tools, and training to help you and your ministry grow. And in this video, I want to talk about how you can continue to help parents in a different way. So like I said, I was out to dinner last night with some friends, a couple couples, and they were sharing about how they've been talking about how they're going to navigate, how they're going to, do homeschool, how they're going to help their kids, all this kind of stuff. And they were saying, man, it's been so helpful to have some other parents to talk with. And so I shared my idea that I shared yesterday with this whole idea. And they're like, man, that's a great idea. I think it's a great idea. But again, not every church is going to do it. So maybe you watched the video, and if you haven't watched it, I'll put a card up here on YouTube. If you haven't watched it on Facebook, find it. But I talked about this idea of hiring somebody, paying, having parents pay, that you hire somebody to do kind of advanced childcare, kind of, advanced co-op kind of stuff at your church. So again, maybe that's too much for you. You say that's just out of where we're at. Here's another idea of what you can do. Host a parent mastermind. Okay. And if you're not familiar with the whole idea of mastermind is this idea that you get great minds together and you create a mastermind, because great minds sitting around together create a mastermind. You elevate the thinking, you elevate the conversation of everybody by having everybody in the room. Now, what I'd say is this: there's a couple of ways of doing it. One is to actually do it a mastermind style. So for example, these are actually selected parents that come together, for the next few months and just really help each other out. Not so much a support group, not so much a small group, but really a mastermind where they bring their best practices. Here's what we're doing. Here's what we've learned. Here's the style of what we're doing. And they elevate and they encourage each other to bring up the level of what they're doing. And you host it as a church. You host this meeting. Another way of doing it would be kind of like a town hall meeting, or kind of more of just like a one-time parent conference meeting. And maybe you bring somebody in. Maybe you bring Sarah and I in through video or physical, and we come in and we talk about some best practices for thinking in this new way of doing school, and how to think, because it's really a paradigm shift of how you think about education over the next few months, this next semester. You got to think differently. You can't think 9 to 3 or 8 to 3 and class to class to class. You got to think differently. It's not quite homeschool either, because a lot of these people are going to be having scheduled classes that they have to take, or they're going to have scheduled assignments from the school. They're going to have account checkups and things like that. And so it's not quite homeschool. It's not quite public school thinking. So how do you think? Maybe bring somebody like us, or maybe bring in somebody else locally in your area to come in, and they host this conversation. You invite the families of your church in, and they begin to talk and say, okay, well, how do we think differently? What do we do? How do we deal with scheduling? How do we deal with the fact that our kids want to stay up all night playing Fortnite? And how we deal with all that? And they begin to talk with each other and share ideas. And then maybe you have a master coach or teacher, instructor, whatever that night, maybe a principal of a charter school, maybe, some great homeschool moms, things like that, and help them think through what this could possibly look like. Maybe they even create some cooperative sharing, where maybe 4 or 5 parents and families start working together to say, hey, we can watch the kids on Tuesdays and we can watch the kids on Thursdays, and they help each other out. And again, you're meeting what could be one of the major issues of most families in your church over this next season, and you're bringing them together. So instead of them finding the answers in the public school, instead of finding the answers on their own, you as a church are now facilitating these conversations and hosting them. Again, it's just being intentional, seeing this need and not running away from it. I understand. I'm talking with pastors. There's so many needs that you're adjusting to. Do you really need one more thing? But I'm telling you, if you can find somebody in your church, a homeschool mom, or even just a key influential public school parent that would be able to host this for you and kind of spearhead this for you, but to say, hey, we're behind you. We want to leverage what we have, our connections, our email list, even Sunday morning announcements, our building, if it's open. And we want to be able to allow you to use this because we really want to invest in families in this season. And we understand that how we answer this question is massively crucial in the next few months. And so I want to encourage you guys, think about hiring somebody to host these families over the next few months of this next school year. If that's too much for you, maybe doing just this one time or multiple follow-up mastermind type teachings in groups where they can have group think and they can get real positive and encourage each other and strengthen each other on how to navigate this new season of school. Hope this video has been helpful for you guys. Can't wait to be back with you guys tomorrow.